Hey cousins, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Chrissy Pips. Listen, we are still in last week's setup in profit, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Forex Factory to see what's going on this week. Now, do me a favor, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the information. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys are in profit. But as always, if you're here, you're interested. So let's get into it. Now, looking at Forex Factory, listen, we have got some crazy, consistent downward momentum from a lot of our odd pairs, right? CAD and AU look very similar. Euro-U is now moving sideways, and USD CAD is changing its trajectory a little bit. It looks like we changed from this slight up to now a slight down or even consolidation. It looks like it could even be a head and shoulders pattern forming. But let's go ahead and scroll down and get into some of the news. I don't see any red folders until Wednesday, and that's for the US dollar. Let's see. So this week looks to be pretty good. Let's look for odd news. Let's see. So business confidence. Let's click on this and see what it says. So it looks like we have an economic health meter here, and this looks like today at 9:30 p.m. So let's see what else we have. And you know, when you click on the little folders over here where it says detail, go straight to the section that says why traders care. That's all I care about, right? But let's see. Let's keep scrolling for other odd news. Okay. So Westpac, consumer sentiment. Financial confidence is the leading indicator of consumer spending. So we might want to take a look at what happens at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. Let's see. So yeah, we'll take a look at these particular things this week. But for now, it looks like we're doing pretty good. Let's head over to the charts. But before we do that, I do want to remind you guys that the trading journal that I use, the one that I created for myself, is always in the description of each and every Monday video. So it gives you the things that I use. So Nash Markets, for calculating my risk information. You can also use my FX book, investing.com, to take a look at the ADR, or the average daily range for the pairs. And then I do use a compounding strategy for my trading as well. So all of those links are up here at the top of this document. If you make a copy, you'll be able to edit it. But it just shows you like how I take my screenshots and what information I'm looking to fill out for my trading journal. I do this for every single trade so that I can look back and make sure that I have a good understanding of what happened. Like if I won, why? If I lost, why? Right? And track this information. It's very important that we track it. Okay? So don't forget that this is in the description of each and every of the Monday videos so that you can make a copy, right? Okay. But let's go over to the charts. Okay, so the setup that we were looking for last week, or not looking for, but looking at last week, was giving us seller momentum. However, we did have a very big push up. So we actually got activated in on our bigger entry. We are currently in profit, and we'll take a look at that. So the daily analysis stayed the same. Right? That didn't change because it was just like a couple candles that changed over here, right? We didn't create a lower low, so our trend line did not move. Our fibs are still drawn out the same, you know? Do this every single time. So I am still looking at this little area right here and this little area right here. Seller momentum, buyer momentum. And for those of you who are not familiar, it's this little box, right? This box is supposed to be red for seller information. This box is giving us information on where buyers live, okay? So I am keeping these two areas relevant. Always want to keep them in consideration. But let's go over to the 4 hour. So I did want to go ahead and draw out the information. 4 hour, 4 hours. So how did we get here? I always like to backtrack to just look and figure out how we got here. Like, what is the story that the chart is telling you, right? So let's start from the top. And I like to draw fibs on the swings on the way down and mark up important areas. And this, you guys know, we would have drawn out the extension and figured out where our low would be calculated, right? And if you want to see it, well, here you go. Let me turn this magnet off, though. That's how we got this area over here, okay? But let's keep going. So this is the last little fib after the consolidation for that downward momentum. That's the area that we actually pushed up to last week. And then it looks like last week Friday is when the trade actually got activated. I was a little upset because I don't like being in trades over the weekend because of the fees, but we couldn't avoid it. So I did even come in and draw out a fib to find out where our opposition is at, our devil's advocate position. Currently, this is where we are. This is us in profit, though. So this is definitely an area that I want to pay close attention to, because this is an area where price could potentially reverse. Okay, but let's look at it on a lower time frame. So this is our 30-minute. This is the last fib, right? That was for that buy entry. This is an area of contention, or an area that we want to pay attention to. Price could definitely bounce here. So I will be taking partial profits. I will be making this trade risk-free. I do think that it would be a good idea to make this trade risk-free. But this is not financial advice, right? But moving right along, right? So let me show you our entry, our setup here, right? This was our entry for the sale. This is where we got activated on Friday. I'm glad I woke up in profit. However, right, always good to wake up blue. But now we have to play the information that the market gives us. If the market retraces below this point right here, if we get information below this point, then we need to use the full swing, right, to take all of this information into consideration. Okay, so that is why I am taking partial profits. I want to make this risk free. I don't want to lose any money in my account. Okay, so let's see. And this is actually how we got the information for the entry. We took a 618 entry off this downward swinging fib here, but we pushed up, made a higher high. That is the other reason why I would like to take my profits off the table. I will be looking for divergence. If you guys are not familiar with divergence, take a look at this video, right? I did an entire video on it, but it is when these two things don't match. When the market does not match my RSI. Yes, I do use indicators from time to time, specifically for divergence. But when these two things don't match, I like to take note of that. So I do keep an eye on it. I will be taking a look here just to see if any divergence does present itself or pop up on the charts. Okay? Now, what I would urge you to do is follow the breadcrumbs. So what we're going to do is open up another ACAD chart and follow the breadcrumbs on a 30-minute. Okay? So I know some of you are like, what do you mean? Okay, let's do this. So find the highest closing candle, then find the wick of that candle. Just because it's a long wick doesn't mean it's the high. And then we are going to go ahead and draw out a fib. We are going to box up the zones, okay? We're also going to turn these red because these are sales. right? We did not get an entry. This was a 236. That means we draw out our little extension guide. Let's turn off. Let's see. And it gave us the push here for the target. And then we do it all over again. You could do small swings, you could do big swings, whatever you prefer. Just remember, when the market makes changes, when it hits milestones on your analysis, you want to be mindful of that. And I do like to have a little magnet tool on because I like it to snap to it, you know. So let's go ahead and draw out another box here. We did get an entry for the sale, just a wick too, okay? And then we fell off. Let's take a look again, starting from high to low, right? This gave us a 786.886 entry here. It's always good to know how you got to where you are. This was just a wick entry and dropped us off, right? So now, like, I've already taken partial profits. I told y'all I was gonna do it. So now we're gonna draw out another fib, and we're gonna look at, let me turn my magnet back on. We're gonna look at areas where price could be headed to turn around again. So I do want to make this trade a little bit shorter. I like the longer trades for the channel because they're for the week, since I only post these on Monday. But I want to take profit this week for this entry. So let's take a look and call out this smaller entry on our 30-minute. Okay, so this should give us good information. For those of you who are in the academy, you are familiar with the 3-candle rule if you've ever traded using DeLorean, right? So if this is a 30-minute entry, after your entry is hit, you should be seeing some sort of movement in profit or otherwise within an hour and a half. We're going to employ that same ideology for this trade. So what I want you to do is go ahead and start putting alerts on the chart. So the entry that we're going to look for is going to be a 50% entry. So this is going to be a 50% entry for the sale. Okay, we're going to mark that line. We're going to right click on the line and add an alert, right? Once per minute. We want this crossing down and create. Okay, I like the alerts because it doesn't matter if you like pending orders or not. Everybody's going to get the same information. Nobody's going to miss out. So put the alert on. If you want to put in a pending order, you can. This would be a limit order. Okay. Now, moving right along, if this is a 50% entry, I know you're like, Chrissy, where in the hell is the stop loss? Let's put the stop loss here. It's at our 835. Let's go ahead and label that. This is the 50% stop loss. Okay. And I know you're like, where is the take profit? Well, what we'll do is not be greedy. Let's take out our short position tool. We're gonna go here. And of course, we want to make this worth our while. Okay. So 1 to 2 gives us a take profit here. Let's take a look and see what the extension would give us as well. Would this be in our wheelhouse? Oh, and it actually gives us a push even lower for the take profit. And we are going to label this also. Remember to label everything on your chart so that when you take that little screenshot and you go back later, it makes sense to you. Okay, so go ahead and screenshot these parameters. Let me turn these off really quick. Okay, so we are looking at an entry at about 0.92271. Okay, a stop loss at about 0.92394, and a take profit at 0.91991. This is the information for today. We are still looking for this trend down. We don't have any information that's telling us that we're going to be doing something different. Okay? Now, if this information changes as usual, I will go ahead and update you, but that's going to wrap us up for today. Now, listen, do me a favor, like, comment, share, subscribe, share this information with your friends and family on social media, because everybody should be making money with you, right? But as always, I hope you guys are having an awesome and productive day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.